Hey everyone, Dr. B here for this week's Sidewalk STEM. Since it's kind of rainy and gloomy out today, I thought we'd do an indoor Sidewalk STEM from our very own Maker Studio. Some of you were here at our grand reopening and it was great to see you. And if you weren't, hopefully you come by and check out the Maker Studio soon. We've got a lot of excellent programming coming up. So feel free to check out our website on our events page for things that you might find, or stop by the library and grab one of these flyers that has a nice list of our upcoming events. So if you were at the grand opening, you might have grabbed the Take and Go Science Kit and done this experiment, but if not, it's really cool to check out. One of my favorites. You can replicate it at home with appropriate adult supervision and making sure you don't make too much of a mess, because there will be some splashing. So if I take a cup, we put a little bit of water in there, and we turn the cup upside down, of course gravity is going to pull that water right out down towards the ground. Now if I take just a flimsy little regular index card, I get a little bit of water into my cup there, maybe about an inch or so. I stick the index card on top, turn the cup over, and I release it. You're probably expecting, like I would, for that water to come rushing out, push the index card out of the way and splash. But, perhaps to our great astonishment, the water stays in the cup, the card stays against the cup, and nothing happens. So I'm thinking, well, Dr. B, you didn't put nearly enough water in there. If you put a lot more in, that heavy water is going to spill it. Well, let's do the test and find out. So I'm going to fill this cup almost to the brim. Got a good 3.5, 4 inches in there perhaps. Take another regular index card, we'll stick it on top, covering the entire mouth of the cup. Flip it over slowly and carefully. Keep my hand as flat as I can. And then we'll release away without squeezing the cup. And all that water stays in there. It's just fascinating. So what's happening here, in part, is all the water in the cup pushing down against the card, trying to push the card down. But what's under the cup, and what fills the air all around us, is little molecules of air. And they're bouncing off of things, which is exerting some force called air pressure. And the air pushing up on the bottom of the card is actually stronger than the force of gravity trying to pull the weight of the water down. It's the same principle that engineers and designers use when they build things like airplanes, with particular shapes to take advantage of that air pressure. So because of the shape of the wing and the body of the plane, the air pressure pushing on the bottom is stronger than the air pressure pushing on top of the plane, and it creates a force called lift, which can make planes fly. And as we approach spring, we're going to get some interesting sort of weather, usually in the spring season. And sometimes that's a result of high air pressure and low air pressure systems meeting and interacting in a variety of ways. So I'm thinking, well, all right, let's see one more demonstration here. Let me take another one of our index cards, and I punch some holes in it now. And try to do the same thing. You can make a prediction about what we think will happen. Now that there's holes there and the water can presumably get out, fill our cup up, put our card right there, flip it over, and we'll see what happens this time. I release, and despite the holes in the card, the water stays in the cup, the card's still being pressed up by air pressure, and the air that wants to rush in to the cup has nowhere to go because there's no space to compress. The water trying to push down is sort of met by that air, and we still have a stable system. And of course, if I jostle the card looser, it starts to get too wet and loses its shape. Water can get out to the sides, air can escape it. And the pressure system is destabilized. Well, thanks for tuning in to this week's Sidewalk STEM. Hopefully we'll see you around some of our STEAM or Maker programming soon. Until next week, I'm Dr. B.